All right. Well, welcome, folks. Welcome very much. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where I have the pleasure in speaking with you today. We're excited to be here. We do these webinars and these demo sessions every week. So if you're just joining us, welcome. And if you've been on previous demonstrations and or webinars, thank you for joining again. This is being recorded, so if you want to go back and listen to it, go ahead and feel free. We have a great webcast in store for you today, and we hope that you join us again for next week's and additional webinars in the future. My name is Yaku, and today we're going to be exploring task management and two very important tools, being Project Online and Planner, and actually getting to the point of when and if we want to integrate the two. This is being recorded. It's going to be a fast-paced session. I do like to speak and tend to get up a bit, but today I will sit close to the microphone so you can hear me. If you have any questions, please go ahead and use the Q&A tab to submit those questions. We'll have also a poll during the session and also questions for you. So if we have a question, you can go ahead and submit that through either the Q&A tab or the poll that's going to be up that you'll see halfway through the session. Now, what that's going to allow us to do is tailor this session to those folks that are on the call today, but also help us for future sessions. We've reserved time at the end of this to answer all of your questions. So PPM Works, we're a gold certified partner, and we consult on Project Online, Project Server, and Power BI since its inception. And we really look forward to doing these and also reaching out to our clients and getting things done. So today's session, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. If you have any questions, again, go ahead and do the Q&A tab. So what are we going to be covering today? We're going to get into it. We're going to get into the thick of things with Project Planner as well as Project Online, and understanding really what does task management and productivity mean with the tool sets. Now, we've gone ahead and already done a full overview of Microsoft Project as well as Planner. So if you haven't caught those yet, go back and look at our on-demand videos and go ahead and make sure you take a look at those. So we're going to get into when you actually link your plan from project to planner, as well as when you might want to actually integrate. What comes with those both is when to use what. We're also going to finish with question and answers. So if you do have any, go ahead and use that Q&A tab and we'll get into it. I already mentioned myself. My name is Yaku. I'm excited to be here. For those that I haven't not met, I look forward to meeting with you. And make sure you go ahead and get LinkedIn. You can see my LinkedIn handle there with me. It's always good to have your different contacts out there. And I'm always trying to help out with the community from MPUG, from other Microsoft industry leaders. We really try to give back here. I'm going to put our badge at the door and really help you folks here. I enjoy getting out there with my family and also traveling, but volunteering is key here at PPM Works, and all of our team members do that on a consistent basis. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now, I did get a hello from someone before we started recording here talking about our events in the future. Well, we got you covered. So today's recording is the 23rd of January, and these sessions are going to be coming up here in the next couple months. Now, if you're listening to this recording at home and it happens to be after this, again, Microsoft Project and even Planner get updated. So things that you'll see today, again, are going to be in the mid-January of 2018. If you see something different in your environment, check the date. You may have already had an invite. If you're interested in high-level program task management and managing multiple projects, make sure you go ahead and tune in on the 30th. And we have a really good project site template that's going to be coming up here later this week as well. Now you can see a bunch of other things that we're getting into. If there's any topics that you see here or you don't see here that you want for us to do, go ahead and send that over to us. We're also going to poll on that. Now, we do like to have some fun, and we're going to be out in Minnesota. So anybody that's in Minnesota, go ahead and make sure you get connected with us for our PPM Summit. And we're actually sponsoring a happy hour after that. So go ahead and grab a drink on us if you're out in that Minnesota area. And it is on the eve here of the 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. So we have two good teams out there that are going to be right in Minnesota as well. So we'll be joining that week. So what are we going to be doing today? We always have learning objectives. We're going to be getting into the tool set, understanding what task management and work management is, going through those use cases that you can see on the right-hand side. Planner, project online, linking, okay, and then integration, determining when to use which of the four. Goals of our session, like any session, we do have some goals. And this is pretty much why you joined. So understanding that full suite that we're talking about and getting into the integration piece. That was the title here, so we're definitely going to get you into there. But we do need to build this up. Now, if you just joined us, a few things. Q&A tab for questions. There's going to be a poll at the end and live question answers. I'm going to come back on here and answer your questions directly. So, first questions for you. Go ahead and get that Q&A tab ready, that chat window, meaning Q&A tab, and go ahead and answer. What are you currently using today within your organization? How do you get that information in? All right, well, I see a few here. Thank you for those early birds. Excel, yes. Office 365, Sure, absolutely. Project, oh wow, even a Yammer. Well, good. So those that are on Yammer, and actually, nice, I see some on Planner as well. Perfect, you're in the right place, and you folks are a little ahead of us in the game, so you'll be able to jump in there definitely. So let's get going here. So what do we got going on? Well, we have a few things. Me work, we work, and department and company work. Well, in here, this is where you're taking a look at understanding what tool set you're looking at and actually seeing where to manage this work. Me work, I chuckle at that, is really going to be in and around task management. We work, working with a group, maybe some ad hocs, but some longer term projects in that case. That's where you're going to be getting into the work management of the organization. Departmental resources and structured work, you're going to be getting into your project management area. And then lastly, across the board or enterprise-wide, you'll be getting into that company or portfolio management. So those are really the four. And the key, I like colors as well. So the key colors that you're going to be looking at here when we get into the next slide is across the board of task management, work management, and project management. So task management is the process of managing a task through its life cycle. It's performed by an individual assigned to a task, let's say, and really doesn't involve or may not involve others, but it's still really important to our organization and our company. Work management, on the hand, is a set of software products, potentially service industry maybe, that you imply potentially a workflow or sort of, we like to call it this information or data movement, right? And maybe even a schedule that we get into for project management. We'll hold off on that section for a second. And the interaction, okay, of that business process. Again, generating information is in and around work management. Project management, you folks know this. The discipline of initiating, planning, executing, controlling, scheduling, all these PMI terms. And finally, remember to close a project, all right, through that and getting some sort of results. So how do we achieve those results? Portfolio management, or PPM, is really that centralized management of process and methodology technologies that's embedded in there. Typically, we use Microsoft Project Online, or PPM here, and then we go from there. And folks, no, you didn't lose audio. Just looked like I was on mute there. But I wanted to wrap up here on the portfolio management piece, and we'll be seeing that with Project Online. But where we're going to focus today is on Project Online and Planner. So those are the two areas that we're going to be locked key in on. Project Online really was designed for advanced, and formal project management, like we talked about. This approach to support different kinds of projects, highly customizable, including agile, waterfall, and hybrid projects. However, sometimes this flexibility or use of a tool, although it's great for maybe project managers, executives, PMO, maybe comes at a price. That price is complexity potentially for the team members. And maybe that's why, Project Online could be considered maybe complex for some organizations, or maybe it's too complex for some groups within those organizations. Now, some organizations can benefit from Planner or both of these. Planner was designed for, and you can see it here, for simplicity, right? Easy to use, to ramp up and quickly. Is it the silver bullet? Well, today we're going to be talking about that. Which tools to use when? Do we link? I'm a big picture kind of person. I have some slides in here again to usher us through this thought process. I'm going to be demonstrating about 4 pieces here, and you can really see these use cases. So first use case, Planner, right? I'm unfamiliar with project management. I want to get in there and start using things. I want to be able to use OneNote and Outlook and different things like that. Preferred WBS, more of a PMO, rigorous, things like that, process. We're going to lean towards Project and Project Online, issues and risks. Well, what if we want a simple visual that displays, who's doing what when, meaning we're going to use Planner for that, but maybe we don't want to link the two. Maybe we have some reporting or capturing at a different level. So this is where this quick comparison is. And then lastly is that integration. So I'd like the flexibility where I can have team members enter information in Planner. They could do it in Project, and the project manager, again, can see that information when they create. Now, when you create a new group, in this case with integration, we're going to talk about that and how that automatically flows through. So we talked about the 4 use cases. We're going to be getting into each one of these, demonstrating these. All right, questions, keep them coming during the Q&A. We're going to answer some of these. See a question about Planner and the naming convention. Yes, it is Planner right now. It used to be called Office 365 or Project Planner. All of these, again, just a naming convention. So if you hear me go back and forth, that's what we're talking about. Another question about Planner. Yes, we'll talk about this in a bit, but Planner is free if you have Office 365. Again, we're end of January 2018. That licensing may or may not change. Project Online, for those licensing folks, we'll talk about this as well, is a cost. There is a cost, unless it's on your enterprise agreement. Then again, not a cost to you, maybe the organization. All right, so we get into our scenarios. In our experience, these are the 4 use cases that align most, let's say, the closest to what our clients' needs are. And we're going to walk through each one of these, starting from Planner and Project Online, by not spending too much time on those 2, and then getting into the link for Project and Planner, and then the integration and talking about how we do that. And we've done that a multitude. I'm going to show you a couple different ways today and talk to you how we actually go ahead and do that. Use case scenario. All right, so if we're focusing on planner, here's the pitch, right? So Diane, she's a product manager, and she is leading the planning efforts for upcoming conference where her organization is going to go ahead and showcase new products. And that's what she needs to do. And it's a virtual reality product, a headset, okay, in this case. And she spends most of her time coordinating tasks by email or phone calls and getting on with different folks. And this whole debriefing process is, just a pain in the neck for her. And right now, her organization has this really nice tool called Project Online, or maybe one of the other competitors. But you know what? For Diane, it's just way too maybe involved or complicated. You use the word what you want to use. She's not liking it, right? So she doesn't want to go down that path. But what does she want? She wants to use something to get all of her tasks in one area. She wants to be able to coordinate tasks by email or potentially by people that are using it. She also wants to get prod daily or some sort of progress. So each one of these areas she'll be able to do with Planner. So first of all, the Planner task board that you can see is within a plan itself. All right, you actually can organize your work. You have this tab field. You can see these here. In this case, we have not started, to-dos, and for review, etc. You can create your own buckets. When you create a plan, you can build your team on it. So then folks can have access to this, and they can also see updates. You can customize columns, okay, in this case, meaning buckets. You can do visual things like have images that you can see in here. You could have documents. You could have lists, different things like this. You can also tag and flag in different colors, and we'll show you some of this. So it's simple, okay? Offering shared files, etc. Very quick and easy. You can get into the details of it. We talked about adding different attachments, multiple attachments there. The labeling. And the labeling here is specific to this plan. It doesn't have to be, hey, everybody needs the same labels and the same colors. No, go ahead and do what you need to do for this plan. Now, you have conversations and different things that tie in. And what's really nice about Planner is that you have this hub area where you can see all of your plans across the organization. And you can click in there and see some metrics, okay? In this case, you can see actual metrics of what's going on, what's completed, what's not, and then who's doing what when, okay? High level information. So Microsoft Planner, let's take a look and hop into here. So as we talked about for Planner, there's this hub, okay? And as you get into your hub, you can see that all of my plans are here. Now I have a bunch here and I can go into whichever one I want. But if I take a look here, I'm just looking at some tasks that I have. We'll get into the ESAT rollout, or sorry, the ecom rollout in a bit. So here we go. We have a task and I can see that I have finalized test scripts. I have the create document. I could come in here and flag this and label it how I want to. I can go ahead and copy this task. Say I want this new task, and I want to go ahead and copy this. And do I want my assignments here? So do I want Jacques here? Do I want dates? Do I want these steps? I could go ahead and check this, and maybe I want everything here, and I want to go ahead and I don't want my checklist. Whatever you have this. Well, I also don't want to create document, but I do want to create maybe the test environment document. Okay. And my spelling, there we are, and go ahead and save that. So when I go ahead and create that, you can see it's here. I can go ahead and drag and drop this into a different area. I can actually go in here and finish some of these as I go through step 1, step 2. Maybe I go through all steps and I go ahead and complete this. I can do this and right through here, or I can actually just come in here and complete this. Boom, completed. I'll show you another way. With this, you can see this little checkbox, really nice and easy. Boom, it goes away. All right, so think about my buckets here. I said you can create your buckets. We have a discovery, we have maybe documentation. There we are. Any bucket or anything that you want to create, you can go ahead and do that. I also can go ahead and group these very easily. So over here, I can go into my bucket. I can see groups by completed, not completed, however I want to go ahead and see this individual plan. Over here on my charts area, I can click in there. I can see what's completed. I have one. I have some open tasks. I can see what's to do. I can see this entire list of what's going on. Now in this case, I just had one person. I have unassigned. I can go up and add, okay, my different members to this. And if I go off and rather than Scoot, I go up and grab Scott here. Now I have Scott, and I can actually go ahead and make assignments, right from here. There's Scott on here. So very quick, very flexible, very easy within the tool set of Planner. All right, so we have some questions on Planner. Yes, how did I create that? Well, in this case, I literally went up to New Plan, as you can see here. I went and created it. I typed in the name, I made private, and I had different options, meaning do people want emails? So I went off and manually created this. So question's going to be, can you create these from project or from something else, a SharePoint list? The answer is yes. I'm going to be showing you that when we get to the Planner integration. All right, folks, I know we have some other questions, and I'm going to move on and we can grab some of those other questions at the end here. Okay, so we're switching over to scenario use case number 2. So in this case, Mr. Raul. All right, so Raul is a project manager in this case. Same area. He's managing projects across the organization. He wants visibility. He's a PMO, so he's got some rigor and he understands project statusing, and he also uses the tool. In this case, he's familiar with Project Professional, okay? He likes dependencies or needs them. He tracks issues and risks, and he has some documentation that he wants. We could tailor this or classify this as a more robust project management, and that's really what Raul's used to using, and he's accustomed to using that. So what tool set? Logically, we fall into Microsoft Project. We can automate status reports. We can create different reports off our project. And if we're using Project Online, we can actually see across all projects. Show me all risks, issues, etc. across the project. We can see dashboards as well. So task management, right? Creating a new project, initiating workflow of our project, and then actually having updates come from team members. It goes to those folks. They can come in here and update it, and it updates my project. Beautiful, okay? If that's what you want, absolutely. What about risks? I saw a question earlier about risks and issue management. Yes, absolutely. You can come in here and grab your issues and risks and have those within your tool set. Collaboration and document management, a sweet spot, out of the box functionality of Project Online, leveraging SharePoint. I don't typically use names of technology, but that's what today's about, sort of showing you this collaboration and what's in here. You can see a site, and next or later this week, we actually have site template creation webinar. So here you can create the GoLab site template. It shows us what's late, what's not, okay? It shows us the timeline. Drill into it. Really use and leverage. Well, I know, folks, if you haven't seen Project, I'm actually going to hold off on showing Microsoft Project Online. We've done that several times. If you have any questions or want to see that, we have online demonstrations as well, and you can actually custom a demo right on our site as well. So let's get into the two other areas, the linking and integration of the tool set. All right, so Mary Sway here wants to manage her project in Project, okay, but she wants to allow for detailed work to be done or completed in Planner. She likes the Planner tool. She doesn't necessarily manage that way, but her teams like the look and feel, and they want to be able to add tasks on the fly, and they want to manage in their own style. Perfect. All right. But she doesn't want to sync the two. She wants a little more control, and she prefers that they're separated. So she wants to allow that link from Project Planner, but not necessarily having a connection there. And in this case, she allows the team to choose their preferred tool. Okay, it could be Planner here, it could be something else, but we're going to talk about Planner. Also, the team can have input. So what does Mary need to do? She wants to manage and create projects in Microsoft Project online, and she wants to go ahead and have a direct link into a plan. Centralized repository, allowing the capability, again, in this case, to do this. All right, now we're talking about Office 365. We're in at Project Online, and the key here is you need to have Project Online Professional to do this. So it is serviced through Project Online, but you need Project Professional to actually see this link, as you can see up here in the red box. That is the Planner link, okay, and that's what's going to go ahead and link this to your plan itself. Now, when you go through this, and we'll do this in just a minute, is you're going to go through and manage your project. We'd have to open it up. Big lesson learned, okay? And it's actually not going to let you do it unless you create your project, you create your task, and you publish the project. So you need to publish the project, and it has to have a task on it. Go out and publish it, make sure it publishes. Then you can go ahead and link a task, okay, in Microsoft Project to a plan in Planner. I'm going to repeat that again. Microsoft Project task to a plan in Planner. All right, let's go ahead and do this together. So we're going to focus in on our link to all right. So we're in Microsoft Project, and we're in our Project Center. And I'm going to actually go off and open up, we said Microsoft Project Professional. So you can do that two ways, right? We can go into our hub here, or we can actually just go into a project, in this case, eComma Sync, or one of these others that we have here, and go ahead and click this link. When you go ahead and click that link, it's actually going to open up Microsoft Project itself. And in this case, I pulled up this very quick project, okay, called Project Task to Planner link. And you can see that I already have a link in here for the ESAT development. And we want to go ahead and put a link in here. Now, first things first, remember, I published this. How do I tell? Well, I can go into my file and take a look here and see when I published it. And there we go here. But I also have to make sure that that task is published. Two ways to do that. Again, you can put in the published column here if you want to see that, or simply go ahead and create. Go ahead on your task itself, go up to here, the planner, and hit the planner link. And then what you're going to see on the left-hand side is this little wizard for you. Not too complicated. This came out a while back. But really, again, what it does is it links this task to a plan in Planner, and the owner then becomes the owner of the plan as well. And we can track our assignments and all that good stuff for status, okay? So if I go off here and link this right here, again, remember what we're doing here. We're going to go off and we need to link. I'm going to link this to the ESAT, and Discovery is what we want. So this group here, this Office 365 group, needs to exist, okay? So in Planner, or a group in this case, it needs to be out there. So you can create the plan, you can create the group, however you're going to do that. We get our Office 365 group created, and we go ahead and take our link. So I'm going to go off and take this link here. Boom. and link right here into our ESAT discovery. All right, I can go ahead and publish this project again here. So now I'm going to publish this. I have my link to my ESAT. I have my discovery as well as my development here. And so what does this do? If I go from link to link, I can see that this is going to development and this is going to discovery. Go ahead and hit my discovery link here. Up pops my planner. Go ahead and shift gears and go ahead and open my planner. Here's my ESAT discovery that we just talked about, right? And this is where, again, looks pretty similar to what we were just talking about. And as you can see, I created some. And this is where folks can go in and create, again, multiple tasks, right? So here we have a new task, and we're going to review, high-level scope document. Okay, so I have my scope document. Here it is, just by keying it in. I can click in here and see some more information. Where does this go? It goes into my discovery area. We haven't started. This is due on a particular date. I can go and grab, let's say, March Madness, and we'll do it right before there. And also, we want to go ahead and start this anytime soon. So let's just say we'll give them a week, anytime of the week. Put in our description here, add. Now, some of you are going to say, well, how did we add in the coloration that I saw? Well, that's pretty easy here. We can go in and update our file. We can go and grab one of those files here, and we just go ahead and attach this right here to our plan task. I want to go ahead and make sure I show this on card. There's that image there. I also can add a checkbox right here that we talked about, and you guys get it. Check 1, check 2, etc. And go ahead and put this down. So that's how you can have these tiles, okay, that are colorful. I can have my links or multiple documents here, and that's really what we're going to take a look at. Okay, so what did we do? We created a bunch of this stuff. They can manage everything over here that they want and that they need, and simply we have our link over here. We go back to our Microsoft project plan here, and we have our link that we created right over here. Again, the link shoots us over here. We have our management over here. They're still, in this case, for this link, separate. So we come in here and we have our deliverables, our milestone might be 2 different things. So again, definitely a value to the organization. Many use cases that call for that. But we're going to show you one more, which is actually going into the integration piece of this. Okay. So any questions on linking to Planner, go ahead and get those submitted. And again, we can answer some of these at the end. All right, use case number 4. We have Diane and Raul now, both, remember from earlier scenarios, we'll use those 2 names. And we have a product manager as well as a project manager. And they both want flexibility, and they want to be able to choose their own tools. And they went off on their own, and they're using, let's just say they're using Microsoft Project Online, and they're also using Planner. Everyone likes it. But there's got to be an easier way. We got to be able to integrate some of these things. And they want to associate some files with some individual tasks. They, again, want a central repository. They want to get reports out of everything. And, Raul's really using Project Online, and so is upper management. So wouldn't it be nice if we can get that information from Diane and team up into Microsoft Project? Cool. We got it. So what are we going to do? Well, first of all, integration. We do all sorts of integrations, right? We leverage existing tools, both ours and our partners that are out there. We deploy SOPs that are out there. So if there's a manual process that needs to be followed, we can go ahead and do that. When you're taking a look at integration as well, Do you implement changes to the process? Or is there a process change that needs to go through this? So these are all the things when we start talking about an integration. And we're going to show you one from Project Online to Planner. And again, we can use and develop custom codes and apps to go forward to do some of this work. We have feature set deployments. We can work hand in hand with Microsoft on future releases. What's really great about that is the evergreen solution that's out there with Project Online. And things are going to be rolling out. We said this is the end of, or almost the end of January of 2018. And there might be many things that rolled out from the time that you're watching and listening to this recording. So keep checking back. So in this case, we're going to talk about a bi-directional or one-way direction, one-way sync, excuse me, from Project Online to Planner or Planner to Project Online. In an earlier webinar, we talked about Project Agile and integration there, potentially with other lines of business. Here, we're going to focus in on Project Online and Planner. Now, what's the difference here? Well, what you can actually do with a tool set, and we can help you here, is you can lean into a task. So we want a task in Microsoft Project Online to integrate with a planner task. Maybe not a planner plan, but the actual task itself. We want to be able to have sync options, okay, per task. Some go, some don't. Scheduling it on demand. A lot of flexibility of what you want to do here. You can associate a task to a bucket. So we want to go ahead and create a plan from a Microsoft project, and we want to create the buckets, and we want to go ahead and push that information out. So what happens with the sync? Well, we're going to talk about this sync. It's going to go off and create a new plan for us. You can see we have an email over here. It's going to go ahead and create an email. It says, hey, we just created a plan, and by the way, all the folks in this plan, now you have access to this. So you can go ahead and update that plan and update the tasks within that plan, and it's going to come back to Microsoft Project. Those links that are established. Now, one thing being said, depending on the level of integration, today we're going to show you that progress in Planner goes to a % complete. Okay, so halfway progress goes to 50%, complete is 100%, etc. 0 is not started, things like that. So there's flexibility, and you need to understand that from your team capability of what do we want to come over in Project Planner to Project Online. Fair enough? So there are many integration options. We're going to show you just one today. Perfect. So let's zip back over to our tool set here. And we're going to start actually with a project. Okay. And let's go ahead and close that. So we're talking about our e-com rollout. That's the name of the project here. And I have some pretty colors here. Don't worry about that. But what I did over here is we went in here and created a sync. So we have this PPM Works sync, okay, off to the planner, and we have PPMW sync for a bucket. We have some milestones for reporting. Now these are key to this integration that we're actually showing here. So again, multiple tools out there. This is the one that we're going to show today. So we come in here and we take a look, and we want to sync by a particular task. So here we want documents to come over, and we want to send that into the requirements bucket. We want design, validation, and approval all to go into design. Notice we're not bringing over, in this case, we chose not to bring over the milestones. We don't want the complete, okay, milestone to be updated in Planner or not. And we have a bunch of these, and I have my requirement or my milestones here. You're going to see those in our different reports that we have. So we go off here, we go off and save this. We go off and publish this. As you can see, I'm going to publish this one more time. I make sure that it's published. And what we're doing here is we're actually going off and creating a planner. Okay, it's going to go off. It's going to say, yes, I want to create a plan for these tasks that I have in this field. I'd also like to create a planner bucket here. All right, and then we're going to get that information. All right, so there's some things that we set up in the back end. There's actually a sync process that's going to be running here, whether it's scheduled or manually run. That's really up to you. So what does this create? Well, we talked about it on the other side. For Planner, and we're going to get into our hub here, and we talked about, in this case, the sync. I can see this sync here, or I could go back to my hub and grab, where's that sync? Right up here. Okay, great. So here's the information. Wow, notice what it did. It actually took those tasks, created some buckets that I see here. It put those tasks into my planner, and now what we can do is we actually can interact with the tool set. So let's take a look here. We have review, actually document requires. Let's just start there. We can actually put some progress on this. So I can come in here and click in here, open this up, and let's just say this started and we're in progress here. Go ahead and close that down. Now let's remember that. So document requirements there, okay? I'm also going to, let's go ahead and add a new task. And just for simplicity here, we're going to add in we already have a review, we already have our document, we have document finalization. All right, and we're adding this in, and I can go ahead and assign this to an individual. And I can actually go ahead and add this task in here. And you can see this here, and maybe I'm chronological, and I just want to put it in the correct order. It really doesn't matter, okay, in this case, on what we're doing. But this order has no bearing, okay, on here. But I created this document finalization here, and I also put in some status here, 50%. Now I can add another bucket. I can go ahead and do all this great stuff. But what we want to do here is we can actually go and run this on demand or schedule this to run. So what it does is it comes off, grabs this information from this plan or all the plans that we have situated here, and we push that information in. All right, so what we're going to do there is now we're going to go back to our tool. Let's go back over here, and we have our sync. And I'm just going to make sure that this is in. Beautiful. There we are. We got our link there, not to be perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make sure that we had that run, and we're going to go ahead and sync that. And now we can bring that project back up. So let's go ahead and open up our project. We'll do our open. There's that sync project. Pull it open. Let's see, I got a conflict there. Let's open up that project and take a look. So when we do that, you can actually open it up in Microsoft Project Professional, or we can go over to our project, open up our project site here in this case, and open up that sync. So I'm just going to take a look here and find my sync project there and open up. All right, so questions that we have out there. Sure. So as I take a look at on our syncing, yep, I was just letting this refresh here, folks. That's why I haven't opened it yet. But I'm going to go ahead and open this now. All right. So e-commerce, as you can see here, as I go into my schedule, we can see that information that comes in. I have my document requirements that came in. I have my document finalization. That's right here. I can go ahead, and edit this. So I edit it in browser in this case. and I'd pull up my document finalization, okay, or do what I want. You're also going to notice that I have 50% complete. Okay, that's what I've done. And this particular sync, you can see here, it actually marks these things as manually scheduled. So I can actually go in here and see that this sync is working and that it's bringing in that data. Now I come back, I just want to make sure that I'm managing this project to its fullness. I can come back through here. I can actually go back and update tasks right from here as well and sync that. So I have an iteration number 1 here. If I change anything on this side, I go ahead and publish this as well. If I need to run a sync, I can go ahead and run that back. Great. So we took a look at Planner. We took a look at Project Online. We took a look at the link to Planner. And we took a look at the Project Online integration. Now, folks, we went through some of those demonstrations. Now we start getting into some of the good stuff too. So how do you map this all? Well, within your organization, it's a maturity scale. Okay, and you would come in here and you can actually borrow this from us and put where you are. And you can see down here when you get to that, project inventory, portfolio, we're sort of in that project management stage. And then when we start going across the portfolio and really leveraging some of this, that's when we get into this well-oiled machine idea. Now, I like to wrap this up good, but listen, we're not even done yet. We got some other things here, and I do want to leave some Q&A time. But this is really cool. Feature comparison, right? So now you can take a look, refer back to this, or go back. We're probably about 50 minutes into our session here. So this is where you'd go back and you take a look at your feature comparison. So I just highlighted a couple, task level discussion or collaboration. Again, Planner, including in the Office suite, no license costs, Planner. Okay, everything else you can do in really both of them, depending on how you really want to do that. Now we start switching into the Project Online area away from Planner. If you want portfolio views with indicators, risks and issues, schedule templates, and all this successor, predecessor details of project management. We did talk about upcoming web events. We had a question out there. Again, here they are. I'm going to just leave them up on the screen very quickly while you finish up that poll. And I wanted to call to action. We started off by saying, come and get LinkedIn with us or LinkedIn with me. Absolutely. Reach out to us if you're interested in the Planner to Project services, if you want an integration, if you want to talk about our link. Absolutely. Now, some of you are looking for PDU codes. Go ahead and request those off us. Here's a little bit about us and who we do. We're really there to help our clients. We've been around for a long time, gosh, and we're having some fun while we do it. We always want to hear from you. So if you have any questions, go ahead and email us at info@ppmworks.